يا دعاة رب السماء يا من صنعتم في الأرض نورا يا قلوبا فيها الوفاء بشراكم اليوم سرورا أهلا وسهلا قولا ولحنا منا لكم كل احترام أنتم بنيتم أنتم زرعتم
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. For the next few sessions, we are going to discuss the rise of Islam in an area which is today known as the country of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan, which is a more recent name for the country itself, was part of a greater area known as Central Asia, or in ancient Arabic known as Ma Wara'u Nahr, what was beyond the river, referring to the river Transoxania, which separates present-day Afghanistan with the Central Asian republics. The Futuhat, or the conquest of Central Asia by the Muslims, which was completed in the 8th century AD, which was about 150 years after our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had departed from this world, brought to the region a new deen and culture that continues to be dominant up to today. The Muslims first arrived in Ma Wara'u Nahr in the middle of the 7th century through sporadic raids through the conquest or during the conquest of Persia. Now this was round about the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh and Sayyidina Osman radiallahu anh. Available sources on the Muslim conquest suggest that the Sogdians, who were the original inhabitants of Central Asia, and other Iranian people of Central Asia were unable to defend their land against the Arabs because of internal divisions and the lack of strong indigenous leadership. The Muslims, on the other hand, were led by a brilliant general, and his name was Qutayba ibn Muslim. And they were also highly motivated by the desire to spread the deen of Islam. Because of these factors, the population of Ma Wara'u Nahr was easily subjugated. The new deen brought by the Muslims spread gradually in the region. The native cultures, which in many aspects were already being displaced by the Persian influences before the Muslims arrived, were displaced further in the ensuing centuries, replacing these native cultures with a distinct Muslim identity. Nevertheless, the destiny of Central Asia as an Islamic region was firmly established by the Muslim victory over the Chinese armies in 750 AD. And this was the Battle of Talas River, an area which is to the east of the current day Uzbekistan and where the Chinese had kept a garrison to maintain their influence. Under Muslim rule, Central Asia retained much of its Iranian character, remaining an important center of culture and trade for centuries, even after the arrival of the Muslims. However, until the 10th century, the language of government, literature and commerce was Arabic. Ma Wara'u Nahr, the area which is presently today known as Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, a bit of Kyrgyzstan, and much of the southern Central Asian republics continued to be an important political player in regional affairs as it had been under various Persian dynasties. In fact, the Abbasid Khilafah, which ruled the Muslim world for 5 centuries, beginning in 750 AD, was established thanks to the great part and assistance from the Central Asian republics, especially the support that it got from Bukhara, Samarkand, and what would today be known as Tashkent. And so, in their struggle against the then ruling Umayyad Khilafah, the Abbasids relied greatly on support coming from the area of present-day Uzbekistan. During the height of the Abbasid Khilafah in the 8th and 9th century, Central Asia, in particular the present-day and area of Uzbekistan, experienced a truly golden age. Bukhara became one of the leading centers of learning, culture, and especially when it came to the arts of the preservation of ahadith, Muslim literature and poetry. Rasmul Khat, and that is the style of writing, the Arabic alphabet, and various other Islamic sciences. At that point in time, by the time of the 8th century already, Bukhara and Samarkand were firmly established as capitals in Islamic learning and education, rivaling contemporary cultural centers such as Baghdad, Cairo, and Qurtuba in Spain. Some of the greatest historians, scientists, and geographers in the history of Islam, which hopefully we will discuss and refer to in the ensuing series, were natives of this area, known still then as Mawara Nahar, but geographically located in the area of Uzbekistan. As the Abbasid Khilafah began to weaken and local Islamic Iranian states emerged as the rulers of Iran and Central Asia, the Persian language began to regain its prominent role in the region as the language of literature and government, replacing Arabic. So although the new rulers were firmly Muslims, however, the language of preference started to become Persian instead of Arabic. The rulers of the eastern section of Iran and of Mawara Nahar, present-day Uzbekistan, were Persians. And under the Samanid and Buyid dynasty, the rich culture of Mawara Nahar and Uzbekistan continued to flourish, and which is very evident up till today. And inshallah, in the ensuing series, we will discuss some of the eminent individuals that hailed from that area. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.